like the new intro. I like the music. I just don't, I'm not really sure why. Oops, it's gonna play again. Oh no, it didn't play again. Sweet, I turned that feature. What the hell am I saying here? What am I trying to say? For some reason, every time I post a video, go live, or YouTube always sends me a message saying that I can't monetize my video, which is okay. But then it says that there's no copyright strikes. So it's either something with the intro or the outro music. I don't know. I think it's the outro music. Maybe it's not free anymore like it used to be. It used to be free. It's not free anymore. All right. So last night we flew in RWY, which is a very nice simulator. We did that video because we had somebody ask us to do one. So, you know, we always try to do requests as quickly as we can on this channel. We always have. Tonight we're going to do one for ourselves. So we're going to fly this airplane. This is the Just Flight Piper Turbo Arrow 3. We're sitting here in Big Dick. The Big Dick, South Dakota. Is that where we're at here? What's the name of it? What's the name of this airport? Hang on a second. It's called, oh yeah, Dickens/Roosevelt Regional. Yep, in the United States. But we can do something with this that we couldn't do last night. We can actually follow along tonight on Navigraph, which we're going to do. That way you can see the DME ARC as we're flying it. Let me bring this up. I'm going to show you the approach here in a moment. Yeah, see, I have the telemetry turned on. Turn the root off. So we have our airplane right here. So we're going to actually fly up to this VOR station and fly the back course as navigation. So we're going to tune our nav to back course, plug in the course, you know, the radial that we're going to fly out against, which is the 86-degree radial. We're going to be flying off against that. And when we get close to Bismarck, we're going to do what we did last night, except we're going to have the correct information in from the beginning. So a back course is nothing new. It's been in navigation for a while. Back course is it's pretty simple to do. Let me we'll open this page up again later. Let me pause the game real quick. Let me open up. So pretty much all a back course is just using the navigation to keep you, you know, going the course you want to go when you're flying away from a station. You know, typically, you know, we plug in a frequency, we hit nav, course that we want to go, course that we're flying on, and the airplane just takes us right to it. Well, this one, it would actually fly you away from station. So we're going to do that. We're going to come down close to here, and we're going to catch this. We have to do a 16-mile DME. Make sure this screen is showing up as well. Oh, bear with me a second here. Go capture. It's here. It's changed here. Let me. Okay, good. It's changed in OBS as well. Okay. I'm going to be kind of a noob at this a little bit in the beginning when I do this kind of stuff, because this switching back and forth to a PDF and shit like that is new for me. So here's our approach for tonight. So there's a couple of things here we need to look at. So we have, now this is from SkyVector. This looks a little different than the one from Navigraph, but essentially it's the same thing. The one on Navigraph, I'll show you, this R263 is written down the side here. We're going to come in, we're going to capture this radial, and we're going to turn our heading. Now, when we're doing this, we're making all left-hand turns. We're going counterclockwise. So we're going to be turning our heading counterclockwise as well, because we're going, we're going to be going, you know, from pretty much east to north, you know, I'm sorry, east, northeast, you know, north, northwest, you know, until we catch here. So So nav2, this is going to be nav2. It's going to be programmed for 263. That's the one we're going to be using for the DME ARC. Okay. Nav1, we're going to have, and we're going to use this for nav2 as well. Nav2. Nav1 is going to be programmed for this localizer here. Okay, this is one. And when we get to the 141 radial, we're going to start our turn towards the airport. Okay. So we're going to turn on the 141 radial. We're going to turn to a heading of 311, which nav1 is going to be programmed for 311 from the beginning. So, well, not from the beginning, but from the beginning of this approach, nav1 is going to be programmed for our landing, the localizer in it, and the 311 course. Okay. nav2, like I said, is going to be programmed for 263 radial with VOR station here. And we're just going to do kind of what we did last night, where, you know, we try to keep ourselves between 15.5 and 16.5 miles the whole time. And we have to be over a certain altitude. Here's a peak of 34.25. So you can see on here, it's got 3,900, no PT. Just essentially, I don't know what exactly no PT means, but I know it means that you can't go below 3,900 feet. Not unless, I guess, they tell you to, but yeah, that no point means no something. Just, you're not supposed to go below this altitude. That's like your floor. So, but yeah, we're going to do this one. It's going to take a few minutes to get to this airport, but you know, it's kind of tough to find these airports to practice this. I know there's one in Sacramento. There's one in Yuma that you saw. There's one in Durango, Colorado. There's this one. I'm sure there's a few in Europe, but you don't see many of the big boy airports with these kind of approaches anymore. So you won't see like O'Hare or JFK, LAX, and Munich. You know, I mean, like big airports. It's these smaller size ones that can handle larger planes, you know, because like, you know, A300s fly to this all the time. DHL and FedEx planes fly to this airport all the time. So it can handle bigger planes, but it's not like a big hub. So I imagine as time goes on and GPS gets better in airplanes, I don't know this for sure, but I'm guessing that as time goes on, we're going to see less and less of these kind of approaches because they're not going to be needed anymore. Now, this is a very good way of traveling, but there's better ways now, and there's easier ways and safer ways. You know, and also ones where you don't have to have as many people interacting. You know, like if we were in a certain type of airplane where, like, you know, we couldn't do the course ourselves, I mean, we'd have to rely on a co-pilot or, you know, a navigator to do that for us. So anyway, so that's what we're going to do tonight. Oh, good. My microphone's been on the whole time. All right, let me get rid of this window capture. Let's jump into here. Bear with me 1 second. We're not going to use any kind of Sayintentions, any of that bullshit tonight. We're just going to fly. If you hear anything in the background, I'm watching the weather. There's some really big storms out in Texas tonight that just blew up out of nowhere. Like, I was watching, I mean, I got home about half an hour ago, I guess. I went to a barbecue tonight. So good. Oh my god. Oh my god. It was so good. We had T-bone steaks. And if you guys don't know what T-bones are, it's 2 steaks in one. You have a fillet, you have a New York strip, and in the middle is a big bone. Looks like a T. Awesome. Anyway, so that's what we had. And I just got home and yeah, so we're gonna jump in this airplane. But yeah, if you hear anything in the background, that's Max from Max Velocity. Now this airplane, if you do have this airplane, there's a couple of things to know. One, see how this lights up, this disc here? You can click on this and that'll level your altitude out, so you don't have to, pretty much altitude, you know, whatever altitude you go to, you hit this little disc here and it levels you out and you'll stay at that altitude until you click otherwise. What you have to be careful about is after you're done clicking this, like when you want to start descending again, when you click this off and you start moving your trim, like your plane will like just nosedive for a couple of seconds, then it'll start balancing itself out. Just be mindful of that, because this plane is very sensitive when it's going down. Another thing too with this airplane that people might not know is this ICOM off button here. This will actually hide your tablet. So, and I'm going to turn the sound up at this airplane a little bit now. Usually I've been turning the sound down in the game for a little bit now, just because it's been very loud compared to what people have said. So, all right, let's go ahead. We're going to turn state saving on.
State saving enabled.
Trim sensitivity, we're going to make it a little less sensitive. We're already at cold and dark. We're going to use this system because we're going to be using VORs the whole time, so it doesn't really matter what system we have here. But I will tell you, there is up to now, to my knowledge, there's no way to enter a flight plan while you're inside the airplane into this system. If you want to use this system for navigating, like creating a route, you need to do it from the main menu. So, all right. But in here is the regular Just Flight tablet that we've all come to know and love. Okay. We have our charts here. Like I said, you can always bring it up here if you want to. We're gonna start, you know, and it'll bring it up here. But I believe it does show the airplane on here as well. There's a little icon here that leads me to believe that it'll show the airplane. But yeah, pretty much all the aircraft is just this section here. Cabin doors, you know, we can open and close. Baggage doors, oil door, flight info. You know, this is nice. It gives you your pressure altitude, your density altitude, what your fuel economy is, range, endurance, ground speed. That's pretty nice, actually. I didn't really realize they gave all that info. And it's got your, oh, look, your drift. That's pretty cool. I've never really looked at this bottom. I just see it says flight info, and I never really looked at it again. All right, and I do keep the auto fuel selector on. That might be cheating a little bit, but I'm okay with it. You know, if you want to do it yourself, it's down here. Actually, let's turn that off. Not really in the airplane yet. All right, let's get this chumpy started. Now, I do have Hans and Franz here, the flight, you know, the guys, but we'll leave their voices off. So parking brake is set. That's right here. Gear selector is down. Avionics are off. There's no set avionics switch. It's just everything is off. Everything is off. Everything is off. Okay. So, you know what? Actually, let me turn him off up here too. That way I can tick off things. Second. Okay, let me make sure my controls are the same. Okay, very good. All right, let's bring this checklist back up here. I'm hoping this airplane comes out soon on 2024. It's supposed to be coming out soon on 2024 from what I was reading online the other day, but I haven't seen it yet. All right, so we know these are good. That's off. All right, mixture is lean. Actually, let me bring this over. All right, battery switch on. Okay, magneto's off. Okay, battery on. See, we have our fuel tanks are full. Our annunciator panel. That looks good. Let's test it. All right, very good. All right, battery off. Check our flight controls, make sure they're free and clear. Check our rudders out first. They work. Close for my liking, I'll have to move. And okay, in, out, side, Danielson, side. All right, flaps, let's check our flaps. All right, flaps work. Flaps are right here. By the way, this stick here, you pull it up, extends them, pushing down towards the ground, moves them back up. All right, our trim looks like that's pretty much neutraled out. Okay, very good. All right, pre-flight, exterior, control surfaces, remove the eyes and chocks, tow bars removed. Tow bar doesn't do anything, it's just there for show. It's not like the, I think it's the Comanche. I think you can use the tow bar in that one to move it, I believe. All right, circuit breakers. Being a just flight airplane, they all work. They're all pushed in. All right, alternate air is off. Set the prop lever all the way to max. Fuel selector. Fullest tank, which is really both tanks at this point. All right, so we have cold engines. Throttle quarter of the way. Battery switch on. Alternator on. Beacon light on. Nav lights are over here. They're on. Fuel pump, put that on low. Mixture, let's go all the way rich. And then when it peaks, cut it off. Go ahead and start up our engines. Mixture all the way back up again. Let's move our throttle back to 1500. By the way, that's all the way down here on this airplane, which is why I've been moving the yoke. It's much easier to see this. See your manifold pressure, your gallons of fuel and all that. Okay, all that's good. Landing lights as required. We'll put them on later. Anti-collision lights. Let's turn on all our equipment. I know you wouldn't turn the transponder on to altitude yet, but we're just going to do it. Identity. This identifies as a transmitter tonight and a receiver. Alright, so we're going to be flying away from 112.9. That's our fixed station. Yeah, 112.9, and we're going to be flying out on the 86 radial. So let's tune. Now in this airplane, nav 1 is up top right, and also the CDI indicator will do it. Let's tune this to 86, or as close as we can get to it. Okay, that's all done. We need to set the altimeter. That. And 20, is that really? And 24. And 24. Let's set that. Alright, that's set. Heading indicator is okay. Release, test. Okay. Alright, let's move a little bit and see how we roll, and then we'll stop and do our run up. Move the parking brake. Okay, that works. Let's test out our rudder. That works. Alright, let's put the parking brake on. Oh, you know, let's move away from this guy a little bit. Alright, we'll do our run up right here. Parking brake on. The run up on this airplane is pretty easy. I don't know how it is in real life, but in here it's pretty easy. All we do is we set the throttle to 2000, move the magnetos back, and make sure that there's no more than 150 RPM drop the first click, and the second click when we go to right, we need to make sure it's no more than 50. Let's move this up to 2000, a little bit at a time. That was too much at a time. Move our magneto once. Okay, and let's make sure it doesn't go more than 50. Alright, very good. Both magnetos on, annunciator panel, let's test that again. Good. Propeller, we're going to exercise that bitch and then move it all the way back forward. Alright, alternate air is off, auxiliary boost pump off. Fuel pressure is okay, engine idle down to all the way back. We'll set nav 2 as we're in the air. We don't need to do it just yet. I do want to set the interior lights on. Let's do that. That's this style right here. I can actually get rid of this tablet for now. Alright, all that's good. Before takeoff, battery on, alternator on, probes are on. Do landing light. When we get up there, well, we can turn it on now since we're maxing. Alright, max RPM. Alright, let's go. Oh, we didn't turn this on. 1 second. And then this one. And I guess we'll tune this to 112.9. 0.6 miles. Alright, let's taxi out. Let's park and brake. Sorry, I was looking at something. Wait, let me check the volume. Yeah, see, that's very loud. Probably better. I'm not really looking at the chat, so if it's too loud, just drop a comment or put it in the chat. I might check the chat out later. We don't need flaps for this takeoff. We can just go. We'll left brake. Go. This is such a fun airplane to fly. It really is. Just Flight makes some really good stuff. Really good. Up here. Our turn. Parallel to the runway. And we're going to be taking off heading southeast. We need to turn and head northwest. One thing you want to do in this airplane before you take off, just make sure that your actual rose compass, your actual heading indicator down here, is in line with what the actual like heading is. Sometimes this airplane and sometimes the Comanche, it's off, and you have to, you know, calibrate it with whatever, you know, whatever your heading is. I love barbecuing, man. It's so much fun. Barbecue tastes so good to me. Shit. Sitting on. That ass is sitting on. We're just gonna line right up. Take a look at a couple of things before we take off. Okay. Put our parking brake on. Our idle. All right. Autopilot is down here. We have autopilot on. Roll if you're in like heading mode before you actually go into heading. You can use this. Roll yourself. And heading on, you have nav, omni, heading, localizer normal, and localizer reference. That's what we're going to be doing. Localizer reference. You can also set nav 1 or 2. Yeah, that's right. That's the Comanche. Click on. This is pretty much always going to be flashing the whole flight, but when we're in the air, we're going to have to pay attention to this manifold pressure. So after we take off, make sure we move the prop down to, you know, around 2500, but we need to not exceed 41, which is this red line here on the manifold pressure. As we're climbing, drop the prop speed a little bit below 25, set the manifold to 33, put on the fuel pump if you need it. I haven't needed it so far. And then when we're flying, just fly with what makes sense tonight. There is a performance chart that you can follow. I haven't looked at it. I'm not worried about that part tonight. We can always look at that another night. Tonight's just what we're doing. So anyways, hey man, let's get ready to roll. So let me look at this. Okay, so takeoff. Oh yeah, let me put the pitot heat on, and let's put the, oh, we can leave the fuel pump off. Oh, we turned it on. Yeah, off. Okay. Take off. Okay. Rich, prop speed, accelerator. Okay, so all that's off. Okay, very good. All right. So we need 25 and 41. I should probably pull this up on a... Oh, you know, it'll be okay. We'll bring up... I can bring up Navigraph too, actually. Well, I don't need the checklist, actually. So climbing is no more than 25, no more than 41, and then climbing is 33 and under 25. Okay, I don't need it. Let's hide this. Let's hide the route. We'll hide the pin board for now. Our airplane. All right, very good. All right, let's get out of here. Look, timer does work. Cool. All right, release spark and brake. Release the Kraken. All right, let's rotate. Positive rate, you're up. Or prop back a little bit. Really can't see it. There we go. Let's move back below 41. Oh, I think I know why this lever is being so finicky tonight. Let me get our navigation on, and then I'll look at it. I think it's because of the settings I had on one of the last flights I did. All right, now, by the way, we're not heading on an 86-degree heading to this VOR station. That's the one we're leaving on. We're pretty much going to want to be flying north pretty much until we capture it. That's, we're making our turn north. We can get up to maybe about 6,000, 7,000 feet. We're going to put on heading mode right now. And we are going to be using our trim to keep ourselves going straight up. But my hand's still on the yoke. I haven't gotten off the yoke yet because if I let go of it right now, autopilot's going to disconnect. Okay, autopilot's on, hands off. I want to look at something real quick. I've been thinking to myself tonight as I'm using this slider, why is it acting so, like, moving it a little bit in the beginning, it takes a lot of the lever, and then a little bit left for the rest of it. I'm just curious if it hadn't anything to do with, oh, you know, it wasn't in this simulator, was it? It was in 2024. That's right. Fuck. All right. So, okay. Never mind. Wrong simulator. All right. We'll get up to about 7,000. Well, we'll get up to about 7,000 feet, I guess. Now we can see we have our trim barely, but it's been enough so far to keep us at a good speed. Now, as we get closer to this radial, we'll then make our turn. Give it a little bit more power. As long as we're not past 41. We're only a couple miles away from the station. And then once we get lined up leaving the station, we'll then bring up Navigraph, we'll set Nav 2. Oh, here we go. Such a cool airplane. I love this airplane. Might be better if I make it a different time of day with that sun beating down on us like that. Let me make sure we have the correct radial. All right, that looks good there. As we start lining up with this station, ooh, looks like we're okay. All right, move our trim down a little bit and let's click on, and that'll balance us out. All right, and for cruise, you need to bring this down to about 33 for the manifold pressure and bring our prop speed down to around there. We're only 1.1 mile away from the station right now, as we can see on our DME equipment. We have plenty of time to capture this thing too, so it's not like a real rush to capture this, so to say. But as soon as we capture it, we're gonna move this, you know, our flight plan knob here. I guess that's what it's called, a flight plan knob. I don't know what it's called. Our direction knob, I guess. Our nav knob. Let's call it a nav. Let's call it an NN, a nav knob. Turn our landing lights off. We never did turn those off. All right, it's starting to come in now. We can see it moving. Turn our knob now to back course. One thing about this airplane that I'm not a big fan of is that it makes really weird big turns. Why is she spinning all the way around? Oh, hang on a second. I know why. I'm an idiot. You gotta spin this around. Alright, so we needed actually to be 86. So 86, the opposite of 86 is 280, is 86, is 266, my bad. This needs to be on 266. Okay, there we go. Now we can fly on it using a back course. Alright, navigation's starting to come in now. Go ahead and do back course now. Alright, now for our approach tonight. So we need 110.3. Okay, so here's what I was talking about earlier. same chart from Sky Vector, but it just looks a little different. I'm trying to scroll in, but it's very difficult with this, with the setup I have to really zoom in. So you can see it has the 263. It has all the information here. This was laid out differently on the other one, but it's the same info. So we need to plug in 263 110.3. Oh, my bad. 263 and 115.65. My bad. 115.65 and 260. Now I have my one of the switches on my yoke I can actually use it to switch course to tonight. That's gonna come in handy when we're flying it. That way I don't have to continually like use my mouse and do it. I can just use my the wheel of my, I'm sorry, the thumb, one of the thumb switches, one of my hat switches. All right, so that's 260, 1, 3. All right, excellent. We're all good. As we get a little closer to our destination, we're gonna switch. We're gonna switch the info on here, so we know how far out we are. So my hope is that when we get close to here, I can click on this and it'll show the airplane. That's kind of what I'm hoping. Let me see what we have to do for landing. That's cruise, that's fine. Trim, landing light, booster pump on, that makes sense, everything there. Main first, obviously, and then, okay. That's pretty obvious part of the checklist. Land with your wheels first. Don't do what Greg does. I'm just kidding. Tomorrow we'll do a regular flight. I think we're going to be in the Q400 for a while tomorrow. And I have a CRJ flight planned. Asheville, a CRJ flight, and Q400 flight. I've had these flights planned for a couple of weeks now. I just haven't done them yet. So we're still a good clip away from where we're going to. We still have a good 60 miles. 87 miles. So yeah, we got a good 70 miles left. Oh, you know, I don't really need the chart. We have this here. We can just use this. And when we land, we'll make sure we turn everything off. Since I have state saving on, we'll make sure like everything is off and where it should be. And this weather in Texas is scary tonight, man. Storms have been absolutely gorgeous. out near Lubbock and Haskell, Texas, Abilene. Very scary stuff though, tornadoes, especially when it gets dark outside. Him. Plus 5, yeah. 10, yeah. We're kind of far. Let me see if it picks up our... see if it picks up our destination yet. What did we have? 116, 115.65. Ah, here we go. So there's a difference. So what you need to do to get to 5 show is just click on this button. Now it brings out the 5. Yeah, there's no way. We have 23 miles from 115.65. Yeah, we're going away. Okay, we're too far for it to pick up. That's got to be what it is. There must be another 115.65 around. Usually these airplanes, they don't pick up the signal until you're like 20 miles, like 50 miles, 40 miles. We're crossing. Oh my God, that storm is awesome looking. You guys should turn on. Don't turn on anything else because you're watching me. But no, max velocity. He's got some pretty good coverage. It's not so much his coverage; it's the storm chasers he watches. I mean, they're the ones showing all the storms tonight. He's really good at what he's really good at meteorology. I think he's at school for meteorology, but like all the action comes from the storm chasers. Man, these storms are like, they're like picture perfect storms, man. They are ridiculous. I've noticed lately in the simulator, it's got this on the bottom right, this microphone and a round circle. It looks like with a square, like a stop symbol, but I've clicked on it a few times. I don't know what the hell that thing does. Anybody knows what that does? Know what to do? Hit me up in the chat. We should do procedure turns next. I have a really easy method for procedure turns. I have the video up in my Aerofly playlist from like 3 years ago. It's a really easy method I found. And a lot of times you can do it right in your head. Like, it's definitely easier to have a rose compass in the beginning and like section it out to, at least the method I have, where you section out the rose compass. Some people take the landing chart and they draw like 45 or 90 degrees north, you know, and like draw a line out, and then that method is very convoluted in my mind. I'm sure if I practiced enough, I would understand it. I understand it now, just not like I do this other method. But this other method I got from an actual pilot, and it is like the easiest method that I've ever seen. You just need a rose compass, and then once you can picture a rose compass in your head, or just look at like, you know, your equipment, you can just look at it and know how it's sectioned off already. So easy. You'll see like you'll see it visually, like you'll see a line in half, and you'll know this is like direct entry, and you'll notice like teardrop up in the top here, and you'll know that this is like parallel. Like you'll be able to visualize it. But then again, you don't really need that kind of stuff like you used to, unless I guess maybe you're in a holding pattern, or if you're doing like a go around kind of deal, because a lot of these procedures I don't see them really being needed too much anymore with your GPS the way it is nowadays. it's needed, but it's not as hands-on as it used to be, really. I mean, these airplanes pretty much just turn it on and it'll fly itself the whole way. I'm sure there's airplanes out there now that'll take off on their own. That's the kind I need. I need one that'll be like a Tesla airplane, where it just it takes off and lands all on its own. Let me call up Elon. Dear Elon, give me 2 Tesla airplanes so I can just sit back and let the airplane fly me around. Thank you, Mr. Musk. Signed, your newest best friend, Greg, from All About Aviation. All right, let's see if it's picking up our station yet. 150. Okay. We're in a dead zone right now. I'd venture to say it's going to populate here pretty soon, because we're starting to get within 50 miles of this station. I'm actually a little nervous to land this airplane tonight. This is not an easy airplane to land. I should have just taken like a regular Cessna. But that's boring. Who wants to fly a regular Cessna? Let's fly something that's like not an everyday airplane for the simulator. What's our outside temperature right now? Not bad. It's pretty good for North Dakota. About 30 degrees, so we're right about freezing. Good thing it's clear weather out, or we would need some anti-icing equipment on. I don't know if any of y'all watched The Handmaid's Tale, but yes, I've watched every season. This last season, it's like I don't know why these series have such a hard time ending shows the way fans would like it to end. Like Game of Thrones is the same bullshit. Like this Handmaid's, the stuff going on in The Handmaid's Tale right now is so fucking unbelievable that it would happen in the show. It's absolutely crazy. Like if you watch the first couple of seasons and then you watch it now and you're like, it's like everybody's got like plot armor. Nobody gets hurt. There's a MacGuffin around the corner every time. Like, it's nuts. Those of y'all don't know what a MacGuffin is. A MacGuffin is like a special object or a special person. Something that gets you out of harm's way, or something that makes your task easier, or your trip easier. Like, all the handmaids, including the main character, were getting ready to get hung. Okay? They were getting ready to get hung. They had the nooses around their neck. They were getting ready to be dropped. Then all of a sudden, the resistance, Mayday, the resistance that started in Canada, it's all of a sudden saving everybody with guns out. Like, that shit would have never happened in Gilead in the earlier seasons. Never, never, never. All right, let me check something out real quick. Let me go into heading mode. I want to check nav 1 and 2 here. Let me see this here. Okay, so it's still not picking up nav 2. Let's see it here. Oh, that's for this. No. Okay, so that is for nav 1 and 2. Oh, nothing. All right, maybe you got to be within 40 some miles. I don't know. All right, well, let's go ahead and set this for 115.65 for now. No nav. Okay. I'll let this keep going. We're about halfway there. I got the right frequency in here. And 115.65. Yep. Hasn't shown up yet. I mean, we're getting kind of close though. That's the thing. Like, should have shown up by now. Oh, it just showed up. I just saw nav 2 kick. All right, very good. All right, let's get lined up with the right course that we need to while we have the opportunity to use nav 1. I guess I could use nav 2, but that's all right. We need to be going 86. Fix our heading. Oh, you know what? Never mind. We need to be on the 263 radial. So 263. We need to be at 83 right now. We still got 37 miles left. I mean, we have plenty of time. It's not like we're making a... Now, it is a 16-mile DME, so we do have, you know, only 20 miles really to capture this, but we'll be okay. And then what we're doing with nav 2 here tonight, this is going to be what we turn. So we're going to be going from... Just so difficult with... I really miss using my Xbox controller for this kind of stuff. You know, we're catching the 263 radial. We're going to continue turning it until it says 141. So we're going to be turning it, you know, forward really. You know, this direction. You know what? Never mind. I stand corrected. Hang on. Let me look at this. No, that's wrong. We're going to be turning it back. So we're going to be turning it. You're going to be twisting it counterclockwise. Close to capture in this course yet. Do want to drop in altitude a little bit as well. Let's get ready to do that. Pull our throttle back a little bit. Disengage. Now watch, I'm going to move the trim just a little bit. Oh, it did okay. You know what? I just moved it a little bit. Yeah, look how far it's going down at first. Look at this. Look at that, and it'll come back up. So don't freak out when it does that. Alright, let me put our... heading indicator. Oh, everything just like reset. Did you see that? That was weird. All right, let's put our nav dial on nav. Got about 14 miles until we start our DME. Typically, I usually descend by hand because of this reason. And look how fast we're going. Turn back a little bit. I missed my Xbox controllers. I might fly this by hand here in a moment. Ridiculous. I'm constantly playing with the trim, which maybe is what you have to do. Kind of working a little bit. I'm gonna get down to about 4,000 feet, 4,500 feet, somewhere in that area. All right, let's put back on altitude here in a moment. I just want to get down a few hundred more feet. All right, that's good. All right, now that we are good here, let's go back into heading mode. Let's adjust this to our landing. All right, 110.3. This needs to go to 311. Power set again for cruise. You were getting ready to... Oh shit! We need to be making our turn now. Fuck, I completely missed it. Alright. Oops. Alright, let's turn about 90 degrees. Oh, wait a minute. Alright, so we're a couple of miles out. That's okay. We can fix that. What we're going to do is we're going to go a little bit more into... We're going to go more, turn more into this now. We can get it within, you know, 16. I was looking at the wrong info. I thought this was... Anyway, whatever. Doesn't matter. I looked at the wrong info, but we'll get it fixed. Putting it in. We're gonna have to turn our OBS here in a moment. Why are we climbing again? I probably should fly this by hand, really. Yeah, let me do that. Let me fly this by hand for a while. I don't have any controls. Okay. I think I have controls now. Okay, yeah, I have controls now. Alright, we're within about 16. But we're just going to continue to fly it manually. For now, I want to get down to about 4,000 feet. We're gonna go around for a moment. We're gonna go into this DME ARC again. Let's head out west. We're we're gonna come in again. I have one hand on the yoke and one hand on the trim wheel. Trying to keep this airplane rolling. We're gonna head out about 20 miles or so and then turn around. Oh, maybe a little more than 20, so we can get lined up again. This needs to be on 63. It's around there. Got to keep an eye on the OBS2. You know, the one down here. That's the one that's showing the correct info for the radial we're lining up with. Still trying to get down to 4,000 feet, by the way. I should have auto trim turned on. That would make things so much easier. We're just about lined up. Make our turn. About 263. We're about at the altitude I would like to be at. Go ahead and put the autopilot back on, put on heading mode, we'll activate altitude. See if it stays at this altitude this time. We're going to go out a few more miles and then turn around. I think we can turn around now. All right, let's turn around towards 83 degrees. The opposite of 263 is 83. So that's what we're kind of aiming for here. This here, and we can actually use, if we wanted to use nav2 to line up, we could actually do that. We just click nav2 here. That would line us up on nav2. Need to keep on turning. You know, I used to say a lot of nice things about this airplane until recently. I mean, look at this. I don't know if this is because we're in, if it's because of the last update or not, but like altitude is not holding this airplane how it used to. I'm gonna click it again and see if that does anything. Maybe it wasn't clicked all the way. All right, come on, Force, get locked up. "21 miles, so we have 5 miles to get this course locked up." Guess I could always cheat. Yeah, see, look, we're climbing again, motherfucker. I guess landing's not the big thing. We can always turn around and land. We got 3 miles. Pretty close to lining up. Our altitude is still fucking climbing. This airplane makes no fucking sense. What happened to this airplane? This airplane used to be so good. All right, we can now turn 83. Airplane used to be so good. All right, we're 17.7 miles. Gonna be making a turn here in a moment. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn to 183, like 163-ish. Fuck, why are we nosediving, airplane? Auto thing should be on. This fucking airplane, man. When I'm moving this OBS dial with my hat switch, I'm clicking it 10 times. We're a little bit inside where we should be. Then that's okay. We're just gonna leave our heading how it is and it'll fix. Maybe auto trim needs to be on for this autopilot, for this altitude mode to work. Never need to do that before. I've always been able to click this disc and it was always fine. Maybe it just doesn't work after one of the updates, because this airplane hasn't been updated in a long time. But there's been like another update with the Microsoft. There's been, I think, beta version of something, or beta's 24 maybe. All right, we're within a half a mile of our DME now. That's good. Stop climbing. Turn our heading. All right, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can put our landing lights on. Doing good. We're at 16.3. Mileage. Okay, we don't see ourselves on the map yet. But you know what? It won't show on there. I'd have to pull up the map a different. That's all right. We'll just leave it like this. Still climbing. It's sneaking up that little bastard. All right, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. I just moved the course indicator and the heading knob 10 degrees. We're at 16 miles dead on, that's good. Starting to dip a little bit, so we might not make as many turns this time, if you know, this many clicks if we don't have to. Now at 5,000, so we now crossed 1,000 feet almost we've gone up in altitude, and we're supposed to have altitude hold on. Two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Now you see we're closer to 15.5 now, so I'm not going to move the heading indicator at this point. All right, let me turn off what I think is altitude hold mode. Let's let this airplane go down a little bit. I hear another one of my kids coming down the stairs. What's up, yo? Are you doing okay? Feel a little better? Anything for me, or are you good? Well, if you do, let me know. I say that, then I'll probably give her crap about asking something like that, but it's okay. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that to her. I'm just kidding. All right, let's click the OBS 10 degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're not going to touch the heading indicator, you know, our heading knob, since we're a little bit below 15.5 right now. So because we're not moving our heading indicator right now, this airplane's going to start coming out towards this arc here. And as we get closer to it, you'll see the DME will start reading a higher. Oh, we're at 5,000. That's fine. Still at 15.5, that's okay. Now remember, when we get to 142, that's where we're supposed to make our turn. We should be closer to 3,500 feet when we make that turn. Okay, let's do our OBS dial, 10 degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10. I can see it here. I think this is 150 right here. Yeah, 150. So we should be right in this just after 150. We'll be making our turn. One, two, 3, 6, 7. Right. Make another turn. I'll have to look into it. I don't know if that's a characteristic of this airplane in real life, where it pitches up and pitches down so severely when in the air. Like if it's that flimsy, I guess, in the air is a. Big beautiful body of water. It's big, it's beautiful. All right, let's move our course indicator and our heading indicator. Good. By the way, please like and subscribe. I'm still watching. There's 19 severe weather storm warnings right now. no tornado warnings at the time. All right, we should be right around this altitude right now, which is good. We're still on, we're still just controlling our altitude with our trim wheel right now. Pretty soon we're gonna have to get down to 3,500 feet, then we have our approach, which we're gonna, I guess, hand fly the whole thing. All right, let's move our OBS indicator. 1, 5, 6, 9, 10. Let's move our heading indicator. 10, 1, 2, 6, 10. I know this is not as easy to see as last night's, but same principle. When I say easy, to see the knobs and indicators moving. And we were a lot closer up in the other simulator. You can see we're getting there. We're almost perpendicular to our approach. We're still, you know, at 16.1 meters or miles. Our altitude is actually okay right now. See if this will take it. Get ready to move our, now we're almost at 142, you know, which is where we're going to be turning. Yep. All right, let's move it to OBS 10 again. 1, 2, 6, 10. Let's move our heading indicator. 10, 1, 2, 6, 9, 10. Ready to move it 10 more, and then once it lines up on the next one, that's probably when we're going to be moving in for the kill, so to say. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Yep, you see that's pretty much 142-ish. So once we get there, we're gonna move this to 311. And oh shit, not yet, bitch. Damn it, stop. Fuck. I forgot it was in heading mode. Well, you guys get the idea. That's alright, we can, but you guys get the idea. I forgot we were in heading mode for a second. I got kind of happy for a second and forgot. Alright, let's put on our fuel pump again. We're 18 miles from our DME. Alright, let's go ahead and start making our turn now. We've already climbed an altitude. That's fucking amazing. We're probably gonna have to fly this thing by hand pretty much the whole way, is my guess. Which I don't mind. I don't mind at all, actually. Yeah, DME ARCs, there's nothing to be scared about with them. It looks like it's a lot, but if you're okay at math and know how to read a rose compass and understand how radials and VORs work, not that bad. All right, here we go. Or prop all the way forward. There's our airport right there. All right, we might as well just fly this thing by hand the rest of the way. I do want to make sure our trim is somewhat zeroed out. All right, it's close enough. I missed my Xbox controller. Look at that storm. Oh my. 14 miles out still. I'm pretty much flying one hand on the yoke and one hand on the trim wheel because of how sensitive this aircraft is. If this aircraft was a person, this would be one of the wokest liberals I've ever seen. Seriously. It just bounces around so much. I don't know if that's how this airplane is in real life or if it's because we have live weather on. It's crazy how much this thing bounces around. All right, we're about 12 miles out. Altitude's okay. Could be about 3,500 feet coming up here. Let's put our gear down. You know what that sounds like? If you guys are familiar with the Alien franchise, in Alien 2, when they're operating those like big loaders with the big grippers on them, it sounds like that kind of noise. The hydraulics, awesome. Flaps 1. The landing gear is down. trying my best to keep both bars and OBS1 centered up as much as I can. But I haven't landed this airplane in months. It's been a real long time since I've landed anything like this airplane in this game. And it's been a very long time since I've actually landed this airplane. So I'm just trying to get the hang of it again. You know, how the rudder responds and the yoke and speed and laps 2. What that flashing is off to the left. It looks like that could be another runway, maybe. No, I don't know. I'm not looking at anything else right now. Just concentrate on what I'm doing. A little low, it's okay. All right, flaps full. To make sure we cleared those trees. Oh boy! Oh boy! That's a big boy landing. Oh boy! Look at me now! Look at me now! Minus 150. That was a pretty landing, actually. That was pretty damn good. Alright, flaps up. Get our old handy dandy checklist out. Alright, landing. Yep. Alright, flaps up. Landing light as required. Strobes off. Boost pump off. Elevator trim, we'll set that to neutral in a moment. I don't care about going to a ramp, we'll just turn it off over here. Actually, maybe we will go to a... We'll go park it, actually. Is that airplane over there? Yes, I know this is not how you taxi. Do I care? No, not really. That's like a CJ, I guess. Not a CJ7, but like a Cessna CJ. Or that could be, or is that, oh, what's the Jetstar? Is that the Jetstar? All right. Park and brake on. Throttles at idle. Turn all the avionics off. This down. Turn this off. Off. We'll turn you off even though it didn't say that yet. Off. Off. Hey, oh, that's good. All right, mixture. All right, props at max. Mixture, idle cutoff. Magneto's off. Curing. Okay, let me move the prop back so I can hit the lights. All right, beacon off. Navigation lights off. Turn these lights off as well. Torpedo off, landing lights, alternator, battery. We never did put the trim at neutral. That's somewhat neutralized. All right, that looks good. Put our tie downs on. All right, we are good. That's good. Actually, I want to turn this off next time and see if I remember that. And let's put this off. So that's how you fly a DME ARC. Maybe we'll fly something else real quick. How long have I been streaming for? A couple hours, yeah. It's been a while. I really want to start playing that new Doom game. Doom Eternal looks fucking... Not Doom. Doom the Dark Ages looks fucking banging, dude. That looks amazing to play. I can play it. I think I can play it on the computer, actually. I'll have to look at that. It's part of the Xbox Game Pass. I think I can fly it on here. All right, let's... Do I want to do anything else for... There was an update to the Cessna 414 from FlySimware. If you follow Discord at all, I put those updates out this week. I think I downloaded it. For 14. Yeah, it's installed and up to date. I don't know if I really feel like flying anything else tonight. It's been... What's it almost... Oh... Let's see what airplanes I have real quick. Did the Jetstar recently. We got the Bronco. Oh, do I have the Tomcat down? I do. I can do some carrier stuff. I don't think I have it downloaded. Yeah, and I don't have the key bindings and shit set up for it. It's I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna end the stream. I'll come back maybe tomorrow morning. I don't really feel like flying anything else tonight. To be honest, I would like to just go sit in bed and fucking watch TV and play some games on the iPad. To be honest, that's what I want to do. This is a really cool plane if you guys are not familiar with this Black Square Velocity. Let me just jump in this C-14 real quick and see if I see anything different. We'll just jump into it and start at a runway. I don't think I'm going to take off, but I'm just curious if there's like any kind of update with it. That was cool, man. That was a cool flight. Too bad we got mixed up when we first went into the DME. But oh shit, does my trash come? I mean tomorrow. Let me see. think because it's Memorial Day, they're not coming around. Oh my God, look at that wind speed. Jesus. Jesus Christ, Private Pile. You're one big piece of shit. I guess I could turn the airplane up real quick. Maybe we'll do some stuff with this plane tomorrow. I do have a couple other flights planned though. Okay, so it's got this set up here. That's pretty cool looking. So this is like that Civ A system. So let's turn on. This still doesn't turn on, I don't think. Oh yeah, okay, it's just a base thing. So we have comms, transponder on both sides, anti-icing lights, battery alternators, battery power test switch. I believe these are magnetos. I believe start 1 and 2, fuel pump low and high. Right. Heating, pressure. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot it had these sliders for lights. Yeah, that's pretty cool. These cowl flaps. Okay. In, out. Can we use the roller? Yeah, we can use our thumb wheel. I don't know. Maybe we'll jump in this plane tomorrow and do some shit. I'm not going to jump in it now. It's been way too long. This is the same company, Fly Simware. This is the same company that makes the Learjet that I fly on here every once in a while, the Learjet 35. Wow, look at all this shit. A lot of this stuff you can't do. That's right. That's one thing about Fly Simware is that they usually put in their checklist a bunch of stuff you can't interact with for like the first few pages. That's the way it is on the Learjet as well. Hey, we do have a tablet as well. That's right, this Learjet Fly Simware tablet. Let me see if anything looks new on here. We have equipment, weather, which is nice. Ooh, cabin climate, that's new. I like that. Okay, seats, wing locker, aviation bay, that's cool. Our fuel, yep. And our, oh yeah, that's right, I remember this part. This is a cool checklist, so you can do your walk around from the tablet here. Bitch, what just happened? Hold on a sec. He just teleported. Oh shit, whoa, bitch, whoa, baby. Tablet's back there too? How did I get the tablet back there? I'm gonna have to do some looking and see how to get the tablet back there. That was cool. These are handles. I don't want to interact with those. It was like over here somewhere, the tablet. All right, anyways. Yeah, this tablet here, you can click on each one of these and it gives you the checklist. Or, all right, very cool. Anyways, all right, I'm getting out of here, guys. I will. I'm gonna relearn this airplane. This airplane looks pretty dope, actually. I haven't been in this thing. I think I flew it once or twice, and then I haven't really touched it since, which is a shame, because they make really good stuff. Fly Simware. I just don't know. Oh, look, you can turn Wi-Fi off. Sweet. Hello, what's in here? Oh, batteries. Oh, my glasses. I can't believe I found them. I've been looking for them. Oh, my cigarette lighter. That's important to have. Do the circuits work? Oh, circuits work. Shit. Pretty cool. All right, yeah, maybe we'll fly this too. I'll add this to the list of airplanes because I still have the Q400. I have the CRJ. I don't remember, 700, 500. I don't remember what the flight is. I know what the flight is. I don't remember the name of the size of the airplane. Anyways, that's about it, my friends. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. If there's anything that you have a question on and you would like I don't know, like maybe an easy, like a layman's version of how to do it, let me know. I'll be more than happy to look into it. And if it's something I'm familiar with, I'll be more than happy to talk for a couple hours about it, like tonight. But yeah, man, that's about it. I will be back tomorrow for sure. Happy Memorial Day. Thanks for tuning in. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode of the Airplane Show. See ya.